This is Soundoff60, Southwest Louisiana's premier sports show.
Moon may be over. You tell us.
Right.
How does Ed Orgeron handle that immense pressure in college football to win, and of course, what comes being the LSU head coach?
You understand the expectations of LSU. Have the same expectations of myself and my staff.
Yeah.
I've been at Miami. I've been at USC when you expected to win. That's the reason I wanted the job.
Soundoff60 is presented by Merchants and Farmers Bank, where your future is our history. Also presented by Walk-Ons Bistro and Bar, home of Soundoff60. And brought to you by Relief Windows, for replacement windows, doors, and storm force windows. ReliefWindows.com. Here are the guys, Rick, Scooter, and Kevin.
We are back again, trudging our way through August, but football season is 1 week closer, and we might get there.
It's getting close.
Maybe by then our friend Rick Sarro will be back in town, but he's out. So we welcome a frequent stand-in
who's a good friend of the show.
Who's seeing more airtime on this show than either one of us. My old buddy Jim Gazzola. Welcome to another.
Trudging, huh?
Always glad to have
Trudging
you
through
Jim.
August?
Always.
You know, you're a sports writer. I dread August.
It's a bad month.
It's hard.
I have never.
Early August. Late August gets okay, but.
It does, because you don't know what's really out there, to be honest.
I have never written August well.
No.
And I've been at it long enough to know I don't even worry about it anymore. I know September will get here and I'll be fine. But I can't write August. I just can't. Well, how did you feel?
Well, it's hard in the early part because it's always the same thing. We look good in camp.
Yeah.
Oh, our quarterbacks look good. We're looking for a big year. When the reality is, you're not going to have a big year sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
A lot of it is PR.
And people buy this BS.
People, yes, they do.
The best example to me was 3 years ago, when the whole party line out of the LSU camp was this new and improved Brandon Harris. I mean, it was like they had beat it into the player's head.
Yeah. That lasted What, that last 2 weeks?
No, it didn't last a quarter.
Well,
and then they come out against Wisconsin. Wait a minute. What's improved about that?
I think August, Scooter, Jim, I think what people try to wrap their arms around is that the expectations of what to get excited about, not knowing because you don't know, but you want to be at that first opening day game to see something that said, you know what, I knew they were going to be that good. And that's what I think.
Well,
that's look for.
Unfortunately, is we get fooled by scrimmages, because
I don't.
Does the scrimmage say you have a good defense or a lousy offense? What do you have?
Never figured that. We're going to talk about all of that stuff. What we got? The Saints.
LSU.
They're 1-1 in exhibition season, but I would say 2 lackluster at best performances. What does that mean? We'll try to sort it out.
The LSU Tigers.
Big news for tonight. We've got McNeese coach Lance Guidry. He'll be on for. We'll keep him around for 2 segments.
Got a lot to talk about with Coach Guidry.
He'll entertain things. He'll liven things up.
One thing about him, we know he's going to be blunt.
Yes, he will be.
I mean.
Funny you say that. One of his players I may be asking him about is BJ. But no, we have a lot to talk about with Coach Guidry. But Scooter, I guess for you, the big surprise, not a surprise, but did you think it would happen? Is the LSU, should I say carousel right now with quarterbacks? I mean, you've got 2, North Seas and McMillan, but they just decided to leave that. It's just not home for them anymore?
We will talk about that. I don't know if I'd call it a carousel. It kind of told me that they weren't that competition wasn't quite as tight as they kind of.
They weren't in it. It tells me they weren't in it.
But, but when you think about it, guys, I went to one of the scrimmages. Didn't you seem like North Seas had a chance?
Well, see, I didn't play for LSU, so they won't let me near one of the scrimmages.
Well, I'm just saying, Scooter, maybe I shouldn't have said that, but North Seas looked like he was
But he knows the depth chart and knows what's going on in practice.
Yeah.
So you have to assume he's well informed that he ain't going to play.
But that was two major exits that really was unexpected, I guess, at the beginning of the
What
year.
else are we going to talk about when we get into it? The AP Top 25 came out today, Monday.
Yes.
As
Number one was a surprise, wasn't it?
No.
Big old surprise, Alabama.
Not at all. Not at all. But can you imagine what Georgia's saying right now?
Well,
can you imagine what they're saying right now?
We're number 3?
Yeah. Yeah. Can you imagine what they're saying right now? But I tell you what, look out for Georgia, guys. Believe me, you heard it right here. Look out for Georgia. Georgia's no joke. Georgia's for real.
Well,
and
I think
there's 3 teams that are for real, I think. I think Clemson's a good team. Clemson, especially defensively up front. Clemson can play with anybody. Then I think it's who's going to be in the 4th spot to get beat early.
It's going to be interesting, definitely. It's going to definitely be interesting. So let's see how that works out. But I'm really excited to see a little bit about what Coach Guidry is going to be talking about for us when he come on, because there's a lot of things that happen at both of the scrimmages. And I tell you what, the thing that I think that has always been one of McNeese's stamp of approval has been defense. And like I said last week, is the defense really that good? Or maybe it's the offense really not that good?
Their defense is fast.
They are fast.
They're as fast as they've ever been since I've been here.
And I don't know if Coach Guidry's got some key players in positions that make them look a whole lot faster than what they've looked like in years past. But I tell you what, I can't wait to see them against somebody else besides themselves and see how they perform.
I want to ask you, and I don't think it'll have much effect on this year because Tiberi is obviously the starting quarterback for this year. But the 2 newcomers at the quarterback position, Cody Orgeron and Cam Smith.
Cam Smith.
Yes.
It looks good beyond this year.
Cam Smith looks like the real deal at 6'4".
He's
He
a big kid.
needs to put 15 pounds on himself.
Yeah.
But he has the best arm of them that I've seen. He can also run well.
See, you've got to have that, Jim. If you can have that,
he can do things. The interesting thing is, and I asked him about it Saturday, was does the 4 games before a red shirt play into how you play your quarterback now?
Yeah.
And he said it's hard to do with a quarterback because you only have 1, and he's already committed to giving Ogeron 2 series a game.
Yeah.
But if there's any problem at all, that kid can move the pocket. He can throw the football as well as anybody, but he's got to learn the offense, and he's got to get bigger, and he's got to get stronger.
That's pretty interesting to see how that's going to work out, though. When you've got 2 quarterbacks that's going to probably get lots of playing time. You know, we've seen it work in years past, but
Seen it not work.
I'm just seeing how that's going to work out, though. But it's going to be interesting. But I tell you one thing that we can expect to be good, that's defense. Bar none, Scooter.
No,
they
for
will be
sure,
good on defense,
for
McNeese.
sure.
I promise you that. They definitely will be. Bar none.
What else? Saints.
Saints as usual. I mean, they're playing well, but who knows what they've got because Drew Brees is not in. So
It's
I
2
don't
games
know.
in.
I don't know, Scooter, what to think about the Saints right now. Okay, I don't know. Drew Brees is not in. So what do we talk about?
Talk about what they do when Drew Brees gets in.
I think they'll be effective.
I think we saw that no matter what happens, they can't lose Drew Brees.
You're exactly right, Jim. And the thing is, I think the defense will play even better when Drew Brees gets in because then what it gives you, maybe that offense can score points where you can put some distance between the opponent to where the defense, see, teams on defense always play better, Scooter, when we've got a little bit of distance between us. We can take chances.
Yeah.
But when it's tight, you got to play at your best and you got to always be perfect, man. So when you see championship teams that play well on defense, because the offense gives them a little bit of a cushion. So let's see how that works out.
All right. Round 1 in the book.
Yes, it is.
We'll be back. Talk a little about LSU, get more into that quarterback situation.
It's pretty interesting.
Coming up later, McNeese coach Lance Guidry, but first these words.
Soundoff60 is brought to you by Walk-Ons, Bistro and Bar, where great food, your sports, and good times roll. Stay here. The boys will be right back.
For nearly 85 years, Merchants and Farmers Bank has provided dependable personal banking for Central and Southwest Louisiana. I saw your new boat last week, Chuck. Looks like fun. We have 8 convenient locations, checking and savings accounts, online bill pay, mortgage and personal loans, even a new app that allows you to take a picture of your paycheck and deposit it. Can't wait to see your kitchen remodel, Pam. Come in today to open a personal account. Merchants and Farmers, your future begins with our history.
What do you call a great beer with more taste, only 96 calories, and 3.2 carbs? We call it Miller Lite. What are you holding? Miller Lite. Hold true.
But Relief Windows is going to get quality. We're going to make sure that the job is actually ordered correctly. Experienced measure tech, experienced salesman, experienced installer. Service. Customer satisfaction, that's our #1 product. At Relief Windows, you're going to get somebody going to show up on time, do what they say they're going to do. Nobody's going to run with your money. We're going to take care of you. At Relief Windows, we're not only windows, we're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
Preparing a meal, it's a lot like preparing for a game. It involves hard work, the right plan, and attention to detail. Great food, that's our passion. A taste of Louisiana, handcrafted from scratch. Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Drew's favorite season? It's seafood lanyap season, only at Walk-Ons.
We are back here in the lovely confines, like my partner, Mr. Cerro, would say, in coming back here at Walk-Ons. And we are excited to be here, and we're looking for a great year here. Also, just a great place to be. Come out with the family, enjoy great food, and just have a great time. But one of the things, Scooter, that you know is real dear to me and to my heart is my LSU Tigers. Every time I either cut the television on, or I turn to Sports Center, or I look at some local radio station, LSU is in the news. Has there ever been a time where you've covered LSU where you've had this much going on before the season even starts?
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. Well, I guess that's not good, Scooter. But if it's
you
not a kid
obviously
getting arrested,
You forget Jordan Jefferson?
You forget 2011 in the Great Shady's Bar incident.
I did forget that, Scooter.
Let's not forget the Honey Badger a year later.
I did forget that, Scooter. But right now, Scooter, you know.
All right, let's talk about quarterbacks first. And that wasn't any police blotter there. But, you know, you lose 2 quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. That leaves it to just Joe Burrow, who everybody assumes is going to get the starting job, mm-hmm. and Miles
the transfer.
Brennan. Without having seen either one of them, well, I have seen them throw. I went to one practice mm-hmm. where, you know, they were throwing skeleton drills. Yeah. I think Burrow is the starter just on
looking at it,
a little more experience. But I'll tell you what, Burrow, from all we've heard, is, if not a pure dual threat quarterback, he is very mobile.
He is mobile.
Very athletic kind of guy. Mm-hmm. And I really believe that's what Ed Orgeron wants to work. Let's assume their arms are about equal. I really believe Ed Orgeron, that's what he wants running that.
Like what Jim and I said earlier, Scooter, when you've got a quarterback that can pose a dual threat, that gives you more in your offensive package as to what you can do. If you've got a quarterback that's a straight drop-back quarterback, you better have 4 offensive linemen that are mountains to block for him, to give him enough time to throw it, okay, and protect him. But if you've got a quarterback that can move, get outside the pocket, and still be a threat, I think the LSU offense can then open up. Because right now, on offense, Scooter, you know, in years past, we've always had a running back that's either been on the cover of Sports Illustrated or was going to be projected as the #1 draft pick in that year's draft.
Well,
this
not
year,
the
top five, Scooter,
first round pick.
Top 5.
Round pick.
No,
and you're right.
I'll say
you're
top
right.
5. And we don't have that right now. So
you don't have that? You don't have receivers that are tested?
The quarterback.
There's a lot of questions.
The quarterback is going to be a position. He's going to have to do a little bit more in years past.
There will be more on this quarterback than any other year.
Oh, I agree. You can't
That's
have.
What I'm saying.
There's no workaround to the quarterback position this year.
No.
I think they will be fine at wide receiver. I'd like to think that I'm a little more concerned with the offensive line protecting the quarterback than
Yes.
I was going into August. But they've got to be able to throw the ball this year.
They have to, Scooter. The thing is, if you can't run,
I also bring up an interesting point. If you really, I mean, if you think Burrow is the clear starter, and I think the guy they think's the clear starter will start. Don't worry about that. But if you think Burrow's the clear starter and Brennan has the potential, do you play that 4-game thing with Brennan and try to redshirt him?
Well, the interesting thing I've heard from coaches, and I've talked to a couple coaches about this 4-game, is play them the first 2, then you have them if you need them later on, and you can play them the last 2 and still have the redshirt year if you get an injury. It adds to your depth.
Yeah.
But Brennan has also had some time on the field, so he's not this pure kid with no time on the field. So maybe you use some of that, but the bigger question to me is if you don't want to waste a redshirt year if you're going to play him 5 games. You have to make a commitment to him one way or the other on how much you're going to play him. And if it's going to be, Ogeron's son here is committed to playing a drive a half.
A half, yeah.
You can't do that if you want to do the red shirt.
No, you can't.
Yeah, but he's already redshirted.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But you can't do that with Brennan there. So now comes the question of, are you committed to this year's winning? Or are you saying, look at the schedule, we aren't winning it this year, let's get ready for next year?
Yeah.
I think that decision will be made on who they start at quarterback.
I agree. And when you look at it in LSU, the thing that probably scares me a little bit is that the schedule that they're faced up against, Jim, out of the blocks.
It's brutal.
Miami. Jim, when can you breathe?
Yeah,
I mean, when do you breathe?
I legitimately think they could be a better team than last year and go 6-6.
I do too.
I mean, 6-6.
And LSU fans are all up in arms because a lot of people predict them to go 7-5. Well, I'm looking at the AP top 25. LSU's ranked 25. There's 5 teams ranked ahead of them on their schedule. There's your 7-5, and 4 of those are in the top 9.
And the better,
You figured that out.
and is there enough depth for the?
Yeah.
Well, not only depth, but Jim, this
What's
comes
gonna
into
come? Oh,
the experience, though. Not only depth, but do you have the experience?
You're opening.
Against some of these teams that have veteran players that didn't lose any, that are in the top 10.
You're opening with a new quarterback,
Kevin,
new
it's always
receivers.
The sky is falling with you.
You doomed and gloomed it last year. You doomed and gloomed it last year. Don't even start on me. You doomed and gloomed it last year.
Are good. They're sitting there saying the same thing about LSU.
Not as much. Not this year.
Let me tell you something, Scooter. LSU, to me, this is probably one of the first years where I've looked at that squad on offense and defense. Defense, we're going to play you regardless because we've just got players on defense.
I think this is going to be LSU's best defense since 2011.
They will come and get you. But offense, Jim, my biggest problem is when I look at years past when we thought we had great players, when teams just stopped us, your Leonard Fournettes, Alabama say, son, you're not going nowhere. What happens now?
Well,
what happens now?
The day of the game manager and quarterback is
what
over.
Happens now?
You're going to have to come up with ways to make plays.
And when you look at guys such as
Unless
Nick
you're
Saban,
Alabama.
Yeah,
unless you're Alabama, they just
Nick
throw
Saban
another guy in there.
And Georgia. I mean, they've got probably some of the best athletes that would probably go the highest in the draft this year. How do you prepare for that, Jim, and know that's what you're going to get with those two teams?
Let's go with another question is, if you're 1-2, you're out of the national spotlight, do you start throwing the younger quarterback in and saying, I want to save my job for next year, look what we're building? Because if he goes 1-2, you know there's going to be pressure on him.
Oh, yeah.
7-5 won't cut it.
You can believe that. And
unless he beats Alabama, 7-5 is going to put him in the hot block.
And I know the staff is probably prepared for that.
No, but it'll put him in a hot seat.
And they've done things to where they feel that they know what the schedule is. But this has got to be the first year where I think the LSU coaching staff will definitely earn their pay this year.
They've earned their pay with every quarterback they've ever had.
We're going to see just what you're going to put on the field against some of the teams that we're going to have to play that's ranked in the top 10.
I think they got more questions.
Well, let's say Troy is not on the schedule this year. Just remember that. Troy is not on the schedule.
Let that go, Jim. All right, guys, look, we're about our second one in the bag already, and we've got the McNeese head football coach, Coach Lance Guidry, on the roof right now, and when we come back, we'll have him on the set for our third set, guys. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Soundoff60 brought to you by Merchants and Farmers Bank.
Enjoy a more reliable, responsible, intelligent, and connected indoor environment that easily adjusts to your preferences, no matter where you are. Uncompromising, unmistakable. Luxair. Get connected with a Luxair dealer near you by visiting luxair.com/solar supply.
This is Brandon Holly, 6'2", former college football player. He and his steel crowbar can't get through this storm force impact window from Relief Windows. Call 337-456-1699.
On or off the field, training and experience matter. As a board-certified and fellowship-trained surgeon, Dr. Brett Cassio has the training and experience to help you get back in the game. Award-winning research, the latest orthopedic techniques, right here at home. Cassio Sports Medicine.
Still swinging? Get your storm force impact windows from Relief Windows today. Call 337-456-1699. 456-1699.
Tired of ineffective radio and newspaper ads? Give billboard advertising a try. With over 250 billboards in the Lake Charles and Baton Rouge areas, AdSource Outdoor is a great way to get your business noticed. Call us at 337-477-4470. Get spotted with AdSource.
We're back here at Walk-Ons again. If you forgot, Rick Sarro isn't here this week. He's, cruising the Mediterranean or something?
I mean, he takes more vacation time than the three of us and says that he does the most work.
Yeah.
When is he here to do that work he's saying he's doing? Right. I'm just saying, Rick. I'm just saying.
Right. But we got Jim Gazzola here to help out. But our special guest tonight, we'll have him on for 2 segments here. McNeese coach Lance Guidry, welcome to the show.
Thanks for inviting.
Coach, just starting off out the blocks, you know me, I'm a defensive guy. You and I, we love our defense no matter what. Now, I went to both scrimmages. Now, tell me if I'm looking at it the right way. Is the defense that damn good, or is maybe the offense just having a bad day?
I think we got a chance on defense to be better than we were last year. I think we're faster. I think we're faster up front. We're faster at backer. B.J. Blunt, we transitioned him through the course of the year last year to backer, but he didn't start at backer. He was in the secondary.
Yeah.
Now he's had a whole year playing linebacker, and he's a really special player. Then the guys on the back end are a little bit faster in safety position. So, and the offense isn't where they need to be, of course. We don't have the big wide receiver like Ken Shelby we had last year and some of the speed guys. But I do think we can run the football better. But we've held out Justin Pratt.
Yeah.
He hasn't scrimmaged at all. Marco Ogeron, because of the concussions, hadn't scrimmaged at all. Last week, we had 3 offensive linemen around. So, I mean, last year we did lead the nation against the run and third down.
Yes.
So if you're without 5 guys on offense, I would think we should dominate if we're going to be close how we were. So,
Quarterback-wise, Tabry, that's your guy that you're going to have to go to the dance with.
Well, he's going to start off, but I mean, Cody Ogeron's going to get his snaps, in there every game, and then of course if we're playing against somebody where James is struggling, we feel we have another guy that we can lean on, and a guy that's different, a guy that's got different dynamic for us getting away from the rush, because Cody can run. Cody was a state champion tennis player.
Yeah.
So the guy got great feet.
That's not
to move around,
a common combination.
I agree with
It's not.
It's not. It really is.
High
Play
school
football
tennis
to move,
player
to transfer.
to college quarterback.
That's pretty different, though.
He played his senior year of high school and did really, really well.
Yeah.
And of course, we was recruiting Parker the whole time, so we took the package deal.
Yeah.
And I tell you what, Cody Ogeron can play the game.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I know his dad's proud of him. But Coach, also, when you talk about having to play 2 quarterbacks, getting prepared each week, does that have to lend a little bit more to the packages that you guys have to insert because you're looking at to probably play 2 quarterbacks? How difficult on a coaching staff offensively is that?
Well, the game's not going to, our play decision and the structure of our offense isn't going to change. It's just one of them can get away from pressure.
Yeah.
Cody's not a running quarterback.
Right.
He's a guy that can escape the rush. So we're going to run our offense, but you just got two different type of guys. You know, James can make a bunch of NFL-type throws, but he has to have time, and it has to be a clean pocket, whereas Cody can buy himself his own time. So it would be different probably on third down if I was playing against both of them as a defensive guy. It's the different type of packages I'd run from one to the other. So that would be different, but it's going to be the same offense.
You're committed to playing Ogeron a couple drives a game. But you have no anticipation of going play-by-play with quarterbacks in and out, do you? And how much will that take away from the prep time for James?
It won't. We did the same thing when James was trying to beat Ashcraft out, and he did. And Ashcraft had 2 series. He had one in the first half and one in the second every game. And James probably had his best year as a sophomore, you know. So Cody, every week we get 2 guys ready, and the third guy gets a little bit of reps. So it's going to be the same preparation. It's just we're going to get Cody warmed up, so say, have a guy in the bullpen in case things break down. We may get in a game to where we can't protect the quarterback. You know, UCA's always had really good defensive linemen that's given our offensive line problems. So we feel like we have another guy that's mobile, and so it's good to have a guy like that. But hopefully James can play throughout the whole year, and we not say we don't need Cody, but you know, hope James has a great senior year. But we feel like we have another guy, which is a blessing.
You've had 2 weeks and 2 scrimmages, and it sounds like y'all done a lot of live work, you know, in the regular practice. With camp over, that's misleading. Camp isn't over. I mean, you still practice. What has been your most pleasant surprise, and what's your biggest concern still right now?
The most pleasant surprise has probably been our wide receivers, some of the guys that we needed to come through, and I felt they have. You know, every day, of course, Parker practices, but he don't get to go live in scrimmages. So we know we got Parker, and you've got a guy like Highshaw who's been around the program, who's a big guy, but you got a little guy like Trevor Becky, who Trevor kind of reminds me of Britt Broadhead that we had here years ago. Dependable guy, he's faster than what you think. He makes some circus catches, and he catches the tough plays, you know, the 3rd and 5s, 3rd and 6s across the middle. He don't have a lot of drops, so he's been a pleasant surprise, along with a couple freshman wide receivers, Dion Cormier and Trevor Moyer. So I really like them. And then on defense, we transitioned a guy from linebacker to defensive end, Marcus Foster, who's been a really good pass rusher for us here throughout camp, which adds another guy up front that can really run. Other than that, I'm just anxious to see Gabe Foster, the free safety, play live throughout a whole game. We had a kid we brought in as a junior college safety who's been as good as we thought and even better. That's Javon Burris. So I'm just
biggest concern, though.
Biggest concern, you know, I guess it's always the inexperience of the offensive lineman. You know, I know they're going against.
You've got more depth there.
We do have more depth, and we've got more guys that we can play, which is good. But it's always a concern, is being able to stay ahead of the chains, being able to run the football on 1st and 2nd down to where you don't create a lot of 3rd and longs. You get a lot of 3rd and longs, you got trouble. So we got to do a smart job as coaches of staying ahead of the chains and getting in multiple formations and giving ourselves a chance to run the ball and play action. So it's kind of on us a little bit, I think.
Last year, had trouble finishing drives in the end zone. Had a great kicker, but you want touchdowns. How much does Ross at the tight end now, with a year's experience, kind of change the things you can do in the red zone?
He does, and I feel like we had a pretty good package last year. Couple times we stalled in the red zone at home because Dwayne Ross slipped on the turf on some speed sweep stuff. So we ain't gonna get into that. We got new turf now, so we're not gonna have a lot of that. But also, adding Austin Nelson's gonna help. But yeah, LaWayne being there, and then Ryan being there, you know, playing running back is gonna help. Feel like we got multiple running backs, and you know, we just got to get tough in the red zone. We need to get more touchdowns and field goals, of course. But I like where we're at right now. This week will be a big week of us getting better against each other. We are going to do some Northern Colorado stuff, but we're going to get better this week against each other.
Good.
All right, we're going to keep you around for another segment.
Oh, yeah.
Is that all right?
Definitely.
Bonus. bonus Guidry, just what you need. But we'll be right back after these breaks.
Soundoff60 brought to you by Relief Windows for replacement windows, doors, and StormForce windows. ReliefWindows.com.
Preparing a meal. It's a lot like preparing for a game. It involves hard work, the right plan, and attention to detail. Great food, that's our passion. A taste of Louisiana, handcrafted from scratch. Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Drew's favorite season? It's seafood lanyap season, only at Walk-Ons.
Every minute is a mile, dear. Check to check, year to year.
For nearly 85 years, Merchants and Farmers Bank has provided dependable personal banking for Central and Southwest Louisiana. I saw your new boat last week, Chuck. Looks like fun. We have 8 convenient locations, checking and savings accounts, online bill pay, mortgage and personal loans, even a new app that allows you to take a picture of your paycheck and deposit it. Can't wait to see your kitchen remodel, Pam. Come in today to open a personal account. Merchants and Farmers, your future begins with our history.
We are back, and still we have in the fourth chair Coach Lance Guidry, head football coach of McNeese Cowboys. Coach, one of the things that I've been looking at, I looked at the rankings, and you got your Sam Houston's there, you got your Central Arkansas, you got your Nichols. And I noticed also in looking around some of the SLC teams, there's a lot of new head coaches. Now, let me ask you as a head coach, does that present problems for you in years past to know the scheme of what a team played or used when that coach was there versus having a new coach in now? Does that poses you to have to go back and revamp your whole scouting report, should I say?
What I usually do is I look at what we did last year against them and was it successful or not, and change no matter what, either way. So I don't really look at the last year's game other than to evaluate myself. So with a new coach coming in, we're going to look at the films that we've gotten from this year, not really last year, and that's what we look at. Unless it's somebody that's, you know, let's just say like, oh God, it's
does something real weird.
He does something real weird, and he does things yearly. You know, you want to kind of make a file of him, kind of like Gus Malzahn. He does certain things at certain yard lines at different times in the game. You would do that, but other than that, we just take the yearly games. That's what we break down.
Okay.
9-2 last year, didn't make the playoffs. Southland Conference took a beating for that because they have essentially, in my opinion, dummied down over the last couple of years on who they brought in. How does a program that isn't going to play the best team in the conference get over the hump of a soft schedule if they don't get to play everybody?
Well, what we got to do is we got to beat Northern Colorado, which is, of course, out of the Big Sky, even though they haven't finished high, but still it's the Big Sky. It's not beating a SWAC. Even though Broderick Fob's team at Gramblin's a better football team probably than Northern Colorado, even if you beat them, you just don't get the respect, which is a shame. But then you go to a BYU, and you need to make a case for yourself. You either got to play them to the wire, or you got to beat them, and that will replace not playing a Sam Houston. Of course, if we're 9-2 and we beat somebody out the Big Sky, and you play a BYU close, then you probably get in. But our schedule last year with 4 teams like it was, you know, 2 10-1s, a 9-2, and an 8-3, and an 8-3 and beating us, we weren't gonna get 4 in no matter what. So we have to go and take care of our business. You probably got to win the conference or come out second to guarantee yourself out of the Southland.
To be in.
It's too many. It's too big. Our conference is too big. We played too many conference games, which they're addressing that we're gonna go to 8 8-game schedule in the future, I think in 2020 or whatever, which that'll help. Then you
Yeah.
can play out of conference schools more.
Does it make you think about changing how you do the program and how you do a schedule?
Yeah, sure. I mean, you got to make sure that if you're going to play a money game, that you can play maybe a Division II or somebody maybe in a lesser conference, but you better go out and play a team like Northern Iowa, a team out of a respected conference, as kind of that other game that you're going to need to win.
Yeah.
The quote money games, when you go play sometimes a Power 5 school, this year BYU, how do you think, I mean, let's face it, the odds of winning those games aren't good. How do you think those games are viewed? And just about everybody plays one. How do you think those games are viewed when it comes time playoff time?
That's tough. I don't know. The year that we almost beat Nebraska,
that's what I was going to bring up.
We ended up being 6-5 that year. We ended up losing Daniel Sams to an injury.
Yeah.
We had some
So it couldn't help, really.
It didn't help us. I think last year, if we'd have played Nebraska like we did, and we were 9-2, no matter what our schedule said, and we would have got in.
That definitely would have helped.
I think it can help. You know, if you can go and upset somebody like that, I think it definitely will help. So hopefully the BYU game that we go and we have a chance to win and win the thing, and I think that'll help us. You know,
Coach,
even with the seeding.
And do you have to really win it? Can you just have a decent showing for the RPI points to kind of fall in your favor? Because that's what you're going to be getting off games like that.
Well, I think
I'm not sure that RPI can.
I think it depends on what kind of year BYU has. You know,
Good point.
if we lose to BYU,
good point.
That's a good point. Have a good year.
That's a good point,
but
man.
if you beat them, it doesn't matter.
That's a good
Even
point.
if they're a team
You're
that
right.
goes 3 and
You beat 'em.
9,
You
you
beat
beat FBS. But to play one that's close, that doesn't have a good year, I don't think you get as many points.
I got you.
Is there a way to get your division to play each other any way possible financially, to get a constant game against a Missouri Valley or someone?
You know, they tried 2 years ago. The commissioner was trying to do that, and we was trying to do it to give ourselves a 12 game every year by hooking up with that conference and just having each team out of the conference playing each other to try to give us a 12th game, which would have helped, but NCAA shot it down, which I thought would have been a great deal. We got 12 games, and then you can match up. Even though we have 9 conference games, you still can play a money game, play a Division II, and still have that other game out against another conference.
All right, pet peeve of mine, I'll bring it up now. A theory I have that I think would be great for the FCS level. Start your season a week earlier. In other words, you'd be starting this weekend.
This weekend.
The FBS, number one, you can either play a 12th game or with less depth, you get an extra open day.
Sure, extra
Either
open
way,
day.
if you want the 12th game, good.
Yeah.
Either way. But what I really like about this, I may write about this later in the week, that this weekend would be nothing but FCS games. ESPN could cover it wall to wall because you say, well, you know, the nation's not going to watch. The nation this weekend is so starved for football, you know, they would watch anything.
Yeah.
You get FCS in the spotlight that 1 week a year for sure.
Sure.
And would you be in favor of that, starting a week
yes,
early?
No doubt I would. You know, and you like you said, you could use it as 12 game, or you could use it as an extra open day.
Yeah.
I think I'd probably use it as a 12 game, especially.
Well, I think that would have to be
right.
The NCAA would have to decide that.
But I mean, if I was going to decide, I'd play that 12 game. I'd go play somebody out of another conference.
Yeah.
You know, and try and play a Northern Iowa, Montana. I'd love to play them early. Now I want to play Montana early. Have them come down here. Let them get some of this humidity. Because in the playoffs, we got to go in that cold.
Right.
Come get
it's
you
cold.
some. You know?
Coach.
So,
again, Coach.
maybe even at North Dakota State, bring them down here. Let them play down here in this muggy stuff.
Coach, one of the things that's been in the news a lot with a lot of different programs around the country that you probably have heard, trainers and athletes not being treated right. What do you think escalates something like that at some of these universities around the country to where, as a head coach, is that something that you should monitor, or should you have people on staff that should take care of that, Coach?
Meaning what? What you mean, not treated right?
Meaning athletes saying that, you know, they're being talked to in a in a degrading way and not being taken care of. If a person gets dehydrated, that person should be looked at. How does McNeese State University deals with something like that on the playing field at practice? Because somebody asked me that to ask you.
Well, I coach my guys very hard, but I love them very hard too. So.
But you get your guys in shape before they come.
Right.
And that's the thing that people don't understand.
I'm old
Coach.
school, so I mean, I'm gonna be tough on them. But when it comes to them being hydrated or dehydrated, we give them as many breaks as they need, and that's in Jim Murphy's department.
Yeah.
I don't have anything to say about that. Concussions, anything when it comes to health, I don't have anything to do about it. As far as the way you're treated about getting coached, I'm gonna coach you very, very hard, and I'm gonna love you probably harder. So I'm kind of an old school parent, but I'm probably a little bit more.
But that works, Coach. That's what works for you.
It works. I'm taking my guys into battle. I feel, you know, you can't be treated soft and play hard.
I totally agree. As a former player, there's some things that I can't repeat that I was told. But you know what? When I make that game-winning interception, guess what? You're my best friend, Kev.
Right. When did that happen? Anyway.
Hey, had a couple of them. All right, guys. Hey, Coach Guidry, thanks for coming on again. You always add a little bit to the show. And we just can't thank you enough. And we know you're going to have a busy year, but we're looking for you to have a great, great year. And good luck throughout the entire year, Coach Guidry. We're going to be right back after these messages. Don't go anywhere, guys.
But Relief Windows is going to get quality. We're going to make sure that the job is actually ordered correctly. Experienced measure tech, experienced salesman, experienced installer. Service. Customer satisfaction, that's our #1 product. At Relief Windows, you're going to get somebody going to show up on time, do what they say they're going to do. Nobody's going to run with your money. We're going to take care of you. At Relief Windows, we're not only windows, we're windows, doors, hardy plank, and vinyl siding. But our #1 product is customer satisfaction.
In the Lake Charles and Baton Rouge areas, AdSource Outdoor is a great way to get your business noticed. Call us at 337-477-4470. Get spotted with AdSource.
For nearly 85 years, Merchants and Farmers Bank has provided dependable, personal banking for Central and Southwest Louisiana. I saw your new boat last week, Chuck. Looks like fun. We have 8 convenient locations: checking and savings accounts, online bill pay, mortgage and personal loans, even a new app that allows you to take a picture of your paycheck and deposit it. Can't wait to see your kitchen remodel, Pam. Come in today to open a personal account. Merchants and Farmers, your future begins with our history.
Yeah, we're back again. We're not going anywhere. Well, eventually we'll. 2 more segments to go. What do y'all think? Lance Guidry, I just love having him on this show because he will say...
He'll fire up the place.
No. I mean, I deal with coaches all the time. When you talk to Lance Guidry, you know you're getting exactly what he really believes. There's not a lot of coach speak with him.
No, there's.
I mean, sitting there admitting Colorado, Northern Colorado is not a great team. Go find me another coach who'll talk about that.
No, you know, 2 weeks away from playing them, no.
And that's what you get. And I think, you know, Scooter, when you look at Coach Guidry, he expresses himself, I think, through his players. And when I say players, meaning defense in particular, because they play a little bit and keep that chip on their shoulder, a little bit of like what they've been coached by Coach Guidry. And you know what? That to me is a good thing. When you've got players that can respect you as a coach and will play for you and will just about do anything you ask of them, you know, you got to say that you're doing something good as a coach. And I think that Coach Guidry, if you had more coaches like him that had players that would play for him the way that they do, you know, Coach, I got to say it, Jim, Scooter's going to say, oh, my God. Coach Arnsparger didn't say a whole lot. But the wisdom that came out of Coach Arnsparger that you heard him tell you in a real subtle voice, man, it would bring chills to you because you knew he knew what he was talking about.
But I wonder, because he answered the question pretty good, if that's not changing as we see the landscape of college football because of what happened at Maryland.
Exactly.
Is it hard to coach kids that
Yeah.
way?
Yeah.
Do kids not take it anymore? What
Yeah.
was really the story there?
Yeah,
That's
right.
what I want to find out about a Maryland situation
I don't
is.
know. I mean, I think most coaches know there's a line you don't cross.
Well,
And
why
it
was
obviously
nothing said prior to the young man dying?
That's a good question, Jim.
And is the coach, like he said, is he responsible for the young man dying?
That's why I asked that. You know, is that something, is the training staff, is that their responsibility? Once it gets to that point, is it out of the head coach's hands and it goes directly to the trainers and people that should be seeing after those athletes?
Back in 2001, I covered a story about a kid named Rashidi Wheeler.
Mm-hmm.
He was a defensive back at Northwestern. He died on the practice field in a workout prior to the season starting, in August 2nd, before camp opened. Who's responsible for that? He had to do a drill that he had to complete before he could go to camp. He dies over because of heat exhaustion.
Yeah.
But no coach is there at the time. It's just essentially just captains.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that
That's
a
tough
culture?
situation
Is that
right
what
there,
do you do?
Jim. You know what? I think now the way it's being done, I think you're going to have a medical person there to oversee whatever drills are being done by whatever position that's being done by, because you can't take that chance of just having, like you say, a team captain or somebody as a senior or a leader.
No.
You
can't even have a coach.
Yeah, you got to have somebody there.
But remember in
that
our
has
day,
some medical
our day is a while ago.
Yeah.
You didn't get water on demand.
If you got
water, you were weak.
You was limited as weak, Jim.
Yeah, we talked
As
about
weak,
that.
man. If you got water, you was weak.
And you practiced during the heat of the day, and we didn't have guys drop dead.
And see, Jim, the thing that I wanted to say
It
last
happened. Or we
week
didn't hear about them.
that I said that, you know, one thing I've always prided myself in coming back to camp, I got myself in the best shape that I could possibly be in because I knew what I was going to have to go through. And a lot of players, I think, come back not believing that they need to be in shape to some degree to complete some of the drills. And you can't come back to camp if you left camp at 290 and you're back at camp at 320. You've got to do something different.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about the Saints.
All right. This third preseason game coming up.
Now,
They're 1-1.
You know what I think about preseason games. And I also think that applies to these college scrimmages. I just, I've seen it too many times back when I could watch an LSU scrimmage. And then they start the season, it looks nothing like what you saw.
I think the Saints this week, this is the big week, the third week, because you don't play anybody in the fourth week.
They're probably the only, probably one, maybe two series for Drew Brees.
Yeah.
That'll be the only.
Get him some rhythm. Just get him some rhythm.
He plays.
Get him a little bit with his receivers and stuff, and I think that'll be it. But, you know, right now, Scooter, you're right about that. The Saints are not going to do anything without Drew Brees in there. The quarterback that's in there right now is going to run their vanilla offense and just see how good they are to do what they do. And that's it. That's the only thing. That must be a birthday in the house.
It is a birthday here at Walk On.
It must be a birthday. Yes.
That's always invigorating.
No, it's going to be whatever we see.
Speaking of the quarterbacks in the game, did the hype on Taysom Hill kind of come down
for a week.
little bit?
Yeah.
For a week.
I mean, what does it really do, Scooter?
You know, it's kind of like, other than that, Mrs. Lincoln, how was the play? But when he wasn't turning it over, he wasn't half bad.
Yeah, but he had 4 turnovers.
You can never turn a ball over. Scooter, you can never turn a ball over.
Like,
and some of the ways from the center, come on, Scooter. From the center?
Look,
no,
the fact is,
unacceptable.
no matter who they have as a backup, it's a big step down if they lose Drew
Well,
Brees.
I hadn't changed my mind that if Drew Brees retires, they just shut the franchise down. And, you know, then you can go to San Antonio now.
Maybe we'll get lucky and find a little young Drew Brees to come on the scene, man.
The one positive I would say, and I'm not putting him in all pro category, but this Jonathan Williams looks like he can at least step in for those 4 games that Mark Ingram's going to be.
He can.
Yeah, if he gets good blocking from the line. It's all about the line.
Yeah.
So much is the line. I don't look. They're going to be a playoff team. I think they're in a playoff run. I'm not sure they're better than Atlanta. I'm not sure Atlanta's better than them. Yeah.
Have to, man.
And I think it'll come down to them and Atlanta in the division, and I think the other one will be going for a wild card.
Yeah. So, there you go with the Saints.
My favorite part.
Just don't give up a long pass.
My favorite part of the show coming up.
Yes,
you know what happens next?
We start talking about the food.
We get to see some food here at Walk-On.
Smells good too, believe me.
You don't want to miss it. We'll be right back.
Every minute is a mile, dear. Check to check, year to year.
Enjoy a more reliable, responsible, intelligent, and connected indoor environment that easily adjusts to your preferences, no matter where you are. Uncompromising, unmistakable. Luxair. Get connected with a Luxair dealer near you by visiting luxair.com/solar supply.
Preparing a meal. It's a lot like preparing for a game. It involves hard work, the right plan, and attention to detail. Great food, that's our passion. A taste of Louisiana, handcrafted from scratch. Walk-ons, because everyone needs a little playing time.
Drew's favorite season? It's seafood lanyap season, only at Walk-Ons.
On or off the field, training and experience matter. As a board-certified and fellowship-trained surgeon, Dr. Brett Cassio has the training and experience to help you get back in the game. Award-winning research, the latest orthopedic techniques, right here at home. Cassio Sports Medicine.
Guys, look, it's been a great show. We've had a great time. Jim, we can't thank you enough for being here, but this is probably the best segment that we have, Jim.
My favorite part of the show.
We get a chance to talk about the food that's here at Walk-Ons, and they've got food that the smell just does something to you. But I'm going to introduce to you 2 of the best young ladies here at Walk-Ons. We're going to have Miss Haley, and we're going to have Paige. Guys, tell us a little bit about why this is some of the best dishes here at Walk-Ons, because it smells great. Haley, tell us what you have right there.
I have a large cheese fry, has Monterey Jack cheese, cheddar, and has some green onions and some banana peppers and some bacon.
Slanted, tilted that way a little bit.
That
and it
looks
comes with Chipotle ranch. It's really good.
Yes, it does. Wow, that looks so good. Now, Paige, that looks like that's a grown man burger. Tell us what kind of burger is that, because it looks like that's a grown man burger.
This is called our hickory burger. It comes on our sourdough white bun with fried onion strings, 2 pieces of bacon, cheddar cheese, and our barbecue sauce. It's Sweet Baby Ray's. And it's dressed with lettuce, tomatoes, mayo.
See, that's
how do you wrap your mouth around?
How do you get it
there?
It's really hard. You have to push it down,
Yes,
or it's not going to go in.
Wow, that is so good. Ladies, thank y'all so much. And this is the reason why the food not only looks good and smells good here, is because I think of the people that's actually serving it. So you guys both are great, and thanks again for showing us what you guys here have at Walk-Ons. Wow. Thanks a lot, guys. That is awesome. That makes you want to come, especially, can you imagine having something like that on a game night when you're with your buddies and you want to look kind of manly, Scooter, when you grab into it, to make your buddies be like, is he going to really do that? And just put it up against your face.
It's probably all in
on your
my
shirt. It's all on your shirt.
Wow. But getting in on the last segment, guys, Scooter, we had talked earlier about some of the changes that's going to be coming up for this year facing
I'm interested in one rule change for both college and the NFL. 2 totally different deals. The college rule is this fair catch on kickoff. You know, if you're inside the 25.
Yeah.
Say you're at the 5-yard line, comes after the 25. That's huge. It takes away one of the big strategies. I mean, there's no you'll just bang it in the end zone now.
Yeah.
But I have one disclaimer for that.
Yeah.
I want to know what you think. Unless coaches just put them under orders, those returners' egos will not let them call for a fair catch at the 4.
No.
They don't call a catch.
You're gonna put a different kid back there.
They don't like huh?
You're gonna put a different kid back there.
You will.
Or he's going to be under orders.
I think you're gonna see.
But you still, what if it's just a bad kick? You know, a line drive kick. Yeah. You've got clear sailing.
I think you're gonna see every coach come up with a design to kick the ball to the 25 and have a collision, or say kick it out of the end zone. One of the two.
Jim, you got a point. Because you know
it's just changing the contact point.
Because the chance of that kid fumbling or not being able to hold on to it works in your favor.
So you're 35, you're 40 yards away.
So why wouldn't you do it?
Pooch kicking to the 25, I don't know.
But how quick are you down
that's
there?
Where it's coming back to anyway, Scooter. That's where it's going to come back to anyway, Scooter.
Yeah,
so what?
But
your outside guys are going to be there before the ball is even hitting the ground, before it hits the guy's hands.
Yeah, but you're saying if they get a 1-yard gain, it's still, you're better off kicking it deep.
Yeah, I'll give up the 1 yard for a collision that could cause a fumble.
Yeah, I'm with you, Jim, because you know what the chances are, man, you got some kids that's kind of radical on those teams, and they want to do something crazy sometimes out the box.
Or let's just take it completely out. Now I put a kid back there that can't run as quick because he has better hands, so I do a line drive kick to the 2-yard line, and he can't fair catch that.
Yeah.
You're still going to have collisions.
I hadn't thought of that.
Yeah.
You're right.
You can't have a fair catch.
Drive
so now you got some slow kid with good hands catching the ball at the 2-yard line going absolutely nowhere.
Exactly.
That's right. I would assume you've got to catch it in the air to fair catch.
Well, it's got to be a fair catch.
You have to.
Either that or we've changed every rule in the book.
If you line drive at Scooter, he's got to run it. If he catches it, he's got to run it.
And now you're going to see kids jumping away from the ball, and if you time it right, hits a live ball at the 1-yard line.
That's it, Jim. You're right.
The NFL rule.
Somebody will figure it out. Somebody in Alabama will figure it out.
I'm not sure what the wording is. Maybe you are.
The helmet collision rule?
The helmet collision, any helmet collision?
It is essentially targeting.
This is going to cause chaos.
Oh,
it
it already
could
has.
be point, if they, I will say this. If, the preseason is for the officials to work out kinks just like it is the teams, surely they're realizing they are about to open up total chaos.
It is.
And it may be adjusted, I think, before the season.
I don't think it's going to be adjusted before because they are scared to death of $1 billion lawsuit again. What you're going to see is not only are you losing 15 yards and getting thrown out of a game, they can deem you suspended for the next week. Now you're taking $50,000, $60,000 from a guy.
Plus you're hurting that team.
Have you seen some of the plays in preseason?
I hope they're overcalling it to make a point.
Look.
I mean, if somebody he just got 15 yards for playing football.
Yeah.
Scooter, I said that when it came out. I say, how are you gonna even guard that, or how are you gonna maintain that as refs? I mean, if a kid's not intentional, but if he makes a football move and the running back versus a defensive back, if the guy ducks his head, Jim, whose fault is that?
Well, here's the thing: first play of the game, your linebacker runs into your tailback. Do you throw them both out if they go head first?
That's crazy. Yeah.
So they're both out. You're both.
I think the NFL is gonna have a hard time dealing with that.
Wait until that happens on Super Bowl Sunday.
30 seconds. Wednesday, Ohio State will make a decision on Urban Meyer. What happens?
4-game suspension.
Gotta go more than 4, Jim. I say 6. If he doesn't lose his job, I say 6.
He's coming back for the first Big Ten game, and then he'll be home for Penn State.
He's got to go 6, Jim. 4 is not going to be
I agree with you. I agree with you, but it's going to be 4. He'll be back for Rice and then play against Penn State.
Look, again, guys, we're just about out of time. Jim, again, thanks, man, for always coming in and joining us, man. We love you, man. We love what you bring to the show, man, every time you're on. Scooter, I don't know what we're going to do with Rick when he gets back. I guess we'll have a meeting with him and just start to tell him that, you can't take time off this often and want to say you're the guy that does the most on the show. That's how I feel.
It ain't going to happen.
Not at all. Guys, look, We've had a great sports week, guys. Look, we're going to be right back here next Monday, so you stay tuned in, and we'll be right back, guys. Have a great sports week.
There will be
almost
football.
Here.
Soundoff 60 airs on Suddenlink Cable Channel 4 Monday through Sunday nights at 9 and again Saturday and Sunday mornings at 10. Soundoff 60 also airs throughout Southwest Louisiana on Vive Broadband Channel 6 at 9 p.m. Check your local listings. Post your questions and comments for the guys and access our website and our great advertising partners at soundoff60tv.com.